Tafshin Chaf Vav, Chaf Aleph Tammuz. And this mimer is a mimer that was that's going to base itself on a mimer of the Frierdiker Rebbe from the Rebbe is going to explain. There was a series of different mamar that the Frierdiker Rebbe said, and it's going to base itself on a mimer that the Frierdiker Rebbe said the Shabbos after he was released from prison. And there was a few mamarim by this title, and the Rebbe is going to go into that. It says, Baruch Hagomel Chayav Tovish Milani Toiv, the bracha, the very famous Hagomel bracha that we make when a person is saved from danger. He makes the bracha Birchs Hagomel. So he said, blessed is the one that does even to those that are liable for negative and for punishment. So he does them good things, and that I'm blessing him that he did good for me. And this bracha, my father-in-law, the one whose simcha and geula took place, in other words, Yud Beis Yud Gimel Tammuz, even though this was a mimer that Rebbe said on Chaf Aleph Tammuz, that was like 21st of Tammuz, that's like almost 10 days later that Rebbe said this mimer. So he says, it's a mimer, the Shabbos Parshas Pinchas. He said this mimer, Baruch HaGomel, he said it on Parshas Pinchas, after he went up to the Torah and he made the bracha of HaGomel, Be'ez HaKiddush, during the Kiddush, the Frierdiker Rebbe said this mimer because it was very post making HaGomel after being saved from prison. Shazel mimer Habez HaYoser Aruch, that is the second mimer. The longer mimer that's titled Baruch HaGomel, because he said a different mimer. Noisef ala mimer dibra maskol Baruch HaGomel Aleph. In addition to the first Baruch HaGomel, the Frierdiker Rebbe said, She'amar b'yom daled Yud Gimel Tammuz. He said it on Wednesday, the 13th of Tammuz of that year of 1927, Tafresh Beis, when he was released, Achrei Shekibel Tudas HaChoifesh, after he received the actual document of release from prison. And prior to saying the first Baruch HaGomel on the 13th of Tammuz, on the 12th of Tammuz, he says, Hashem is amongst my helpers. He said on Tuesday, the 12th of Tammuz, when he was told the good news that he's going to be freed, but technically he couldn't be freed because it was a legal holiday then in the Soviet Union, so he couldn't receive the actual documents till the 13th of Tammuz. That's why we have a double Yom Tov, Yud Beis Yud Gimel Tammuz. The Rebbe compares it to the double Yom Tov of Yud Tes and Chav Kislev. Well, and after having having said the mimer of Baruch HaGomel Shabbos by Kiddush after davening, so then following that there was a fourth mimer in connection with Yud Beis Yud Gimel Tammuz, Besudas Shabbos Kodesh Besudas Haidah, in the meal of Shabbos, and which was also a meal of thanksgiving, as it's a mitzvah that a person is saved from something, they should give a meal and have a meal of thanksgiving. He said a mimer entitled Raise Your Hands in Holiness. So it's a series of four mamorim that the Rebbe just now enumerated. There was Havayli Ba'izroi on Yud Beis Tammuz, Baruch HaGomel, the first one, on Yud Gimel Tammuz, Baruch HaGomel, the second one, the longer one, at the Kiddush after davening, and Suyidechem Kodesh at the actual meal of Shabbos, the Sudas Haidah, the meal of Thanksgiving. Like these four Amarim were printed in the collection, in the booklet of the Chag HaGula. There's the Frierdiker Rebbe used to give out Mamorim in kuntreisim, and sometimes they were like a series of mamorim that were connected to a certain event and connected to each other. They were given out in booklet form where they had a series of those mamorim. The same thing, these 4 mamorim came out under the title Kuntras Chag HaGeula. Before they were incorporated into what's called Sefer HaMamorim Kuntreisim of the Frierdiker Rebbe, for all that saw, this Sefer HaMamorim Kuntreisim is also, they took all the different mamorim that came out as separate kuntreisim and separate booklets, and they put it together in a sefer. Afterwards, when they started publishing mamorim according to the years, so then they would set it up, and the different kuntreisim were not printed anymore as a collection of kuntreisim. As booklets, they were now incorporated into, let's say, these mamorim were incorporated into Sefer HaMamorim Tafresh Pei Zayin, the mamorim of the year Tafresh Pei Zayin. The Rebbe goes on to say on line 14, Ubevadai shegam seder hamamorim b'tachlis adiuk, and surely that also the order of these mamorim are very totally exact. Sharigam seder b'Torah, Torah, even the order in Torah is Torah as well, and as the Rebbe often points out, we learn out different things from the fact that certain ideas in Torah are written in a certain order. And tomorrow we will continue talking about